Wow, that's like a swallow. I got to tell you, that's funny. The one other thing I think, and I'm curious what Simon's going to say. What does the taking away of Prince Andrew's powers as in the family have any significance? Because that seems to be a big deal, or at least people are confused. But didn't he run the Navy or something?
He was Colonel in Chief. All of these hangers-on get lots of medals they wear on their chest for nothing. But he was a colonel, you see, of a regiment. And what happened, Mel, just about 3 or 4 days beforehand, they leaked to, I don't know which newspaper it was, that they were refusing to raise their glasses to toast him. They were actually saying that we don't want him. And when that got back to the people in the royal decision-making circle, they decided that that's it. So he's had his royal title removed, and the other thing is that they've apparently refused to give him any money. So we're going to have to sell his Swiss chalet, and I think that he'll be under huge pressure from the deep state to try and settle out of court. He may end up paying $10 million just to not go to court. Be very interesting. But either way, I think it's not just him finished, Mel. I think the royal family's finished, because the next question that people should be asking is, don't tell me the Queen didn't know what he's been up to for years. Don't tell me Charles didn't know. But they lied and they sat on it. So the question is not, is he good or is he bad, but why did the royal family hide him and protect him? Why didn't they get rid of him at a much earlier date? And the only reason they're getting rid of him now is because the spotlight of the media is on him.
Right. Well, I think it's the same thing with the Epstein case in Clinton. We're watching the same thing, I think, unfold here. A lot of people are out there saying what we've been saying, I've been saying for sure, is, okay, so we have Clinton on the plane. We have a relationship with Bill Clinton back to the 80s. We have that they're basically best friends. Epstein created the Clinton Foundation. They traveled all the time. The flights, we found out, it's not 27, it's 36, but that's just on Epstein's planes. Like, Clinton didn't have his own. And at the end of the day, whether he participated or not, which according to these girls, there were orgies with underage girls on the planes when he was on the planes. But regardless of that, he certainly was on the island. And this goes for every celebrity, every politician, everyone that went to Epstein Island. They all saw what was going on. Whether they participated or not, they're guilty of a crime. And and we need to know who they are.
They're guilty of silence. And I think what's going to be very interesting for Hollywood is how many famous actors no longer make any more films. Right. And I'm looking forward to seeing just how many actors no longer are coming forward. There's a lot of changes coming.
Mel would know more than anybody that I've heard from people behind the scenes in Hollywood that this was common knowledge.
Yeah.
Whether it be Weinstein, whether it be Epstein, it was talked about. And you can tell that by Ricky Gervais's Golden Globe speeches. They all knew what was going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Certainly, that's true. But also, it was common knowledge in Hollywood that we're seeing the Church of Satan. Like, Tucker had the guy on, which like people laughed at or whatever. No. The real Church of Satan with Aleister Crowley and LaVey and all these people that really was very big in the 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s in Hollywood has never gone away. They just went underground. And unfortunately, a lot of people took a blood oath to this Church of Satan, which has many rungs. It's not just, it's all these secret clubs in Hollywood and the witches' covens and all of it. Listen, what I hear is that Hollywood is a ghost town. A lot of them made a deal with the devil, the CCP, that pulled out all their money and took all their technology. And on top of that, look at who's not working. Anyone that's working or worked and they're pretending it's still or is CGI'd in is in the cabal right now. Everyone. And anyone that is a really good actor that you're wondering, why doesn't that person work anymore? It's becoming very obvious that anyone that's not pushing the propaganda and keeping the narrative going is no longer necessary in a talentless, soulless, satanically run Hollywood. But the great news is that it's being rebuilt all over this country. People are doing it. Nikki Willis, Mike Smith, a lot of good people, John Paul Rice, people that have come out and spoken, Caviezel, Gibson, all these people are out there making movies that go back to what the point was, to make movies that uplift, that inspire, that educate, that go back to God, that go back to consciousness, that you know, God created all these arts and they were corrupted, as I tell all the time. The Lucis Trust, you know, one of their things is about art, which includes movies and film and music. Well, we know it now, and there are good people out there in all facets of film, television, theater that are good guys that are starting to get financing when just a few years ago, no one was giving them a dollar.
Couldn't get any money, yeah.
And that's the same in the music world.
Right.
And that we've learned, somebody said to me the other day, if you want to do some research, start researching the one-hit wonders that were brilliant songs and you never saw them again.
That's right.
Because they wouldn't bow down to the demands that were put upon them.
And check out, everyone should check out Adele's, whatever Adele is at this point, should check out her current video because it's about God and Satan. I think it's called Oh My God or something like that. But if you look at this thing, she's kind of laying out, this is what you do, this is how you do it. And we go to the dark side and like mocking, you know, Adam and Eve and the apple and all. And I'm just like, this is what I'm saying to everyone. At this point, we see it and we have to mock them. We have to laugh at them and reject them and stop paying for them. And the truth is, they're in panic mode. They're in overdrive, and they're activating all of their soldiers to get out there in our faces to mock us, because that's what Satan does. And we're laughing this time.
Mark, I'll just ask you, I've been told this concrete wall going around the White House is about 8 feet in height. Now, that'll stop anyone looking in the windows, won't it?
Yes, but the craziest part, that's supposed to be public land. It only became private land since the phony insurrection. The insurrection, of course, happened, you know, the real insurrection is when they tried to burn down the White House during Trump's inauguration. But, you know, forget about that. That didn't happen. And look, there's so much evidence. Trump even said it on stage. That was a set-up false flag from the FBI. I remind everyone, Nancy Pelosi's laptop is missing. You know, this is all... The only thing is that there are casualties in this war that are in the gulag in D.C., but as the three of us know, D.C. is a vassal state that does not run by the Constitution or the Bill of Rights. There is no God in that city. And the truth is, our country was hijacked a long time ago by a bunch of the Fourth Reich. The minute HW got into the White House, the Fourth Reich took over America. But from that point on, we've allowed big business, big tech, they're running our country. The people that are in DC are all blackmailed. Did you guys see these reports about the insider trading, how much money these Congress people and senators?
No, I missed that.
I'll send you guys it. It's really shocking. The American people need to know how much money these people in DC made before we found out about the bills and the Build Back Better and the CARES Act and all of this. They made trades based on stuff they knew. It's called insider trading. And if the SEC or the IRS were legit, these people would all be charged. But Nancy Pelosi made out like a bandit. Apparently, she's the best trader ever. Because the last 3 years, she has done it excellent. And you know who else has done great? Fauci. And this is all has to be out there. People have to realize.
Well, that's a problem then, because that means that the bad guys have got a ton of cash, which they can fall back on and use for any false flags or anything else they want to do.
Yeah,
that would have been true if the Federal Reserve hadn't been backed into the Treasury.
But haven't they stashed this money under their beds, Mel? Doesn't Pelosi have all this money under her bed?
Well, she bought a place in Florida, so I'm figuring that was just to put the money in the gold she stole. Yeah, I mean, this is true. And you guys saw that Jen Psaki. Oh my, it's unbelievable what's going on. She actually said on the stage last week, I don't even know if that's her anymore, but she said something that people couldn't exercise their fundamental rights. People kind of missed what she was saying, but she was like saying, you have no rights in America anymore, don't you know? The way that she speaks with her. But anyway, she's out there pretty much glitching. Oh, I don't know. If you're watching her, something is going on, and it's very disturbing to watch. But
when I talk about a moral compass and I talk about making sure it's accurate, you couldn't do better than seeing Jen Psaki on one side and Kayleigh McEnany on the other. And then you'll understand the difference between right and wrong, because I saw Kayleigh McEnany yesterday, and she personifies everything that a woman should be. I mean, elegant, graceful, honest, and a beautiful spirit. And on the other side, we see a controlled puppet by the CCP.
Yeah. And you guys, we all know that they never left. Also, you know, she's talking about, remember they all said there's no such thing as false flags? Then she gets up on the stage. She says, and we both, all three of us know what's going on in Ukraine. It started with the overthrow in 13, 14 with Obama, Biden, and Soros, and Soros, and